Hello everyone. Bonjour, salut, bienvenue Nuit de Montréal. Welcome to Montreal by Night. Tonight's scene begins with Natalia Belenko after having had some prior correspondence with Yulia Talima, the fellow Toreador that she met some time ago and has somewhat come to have somewhat of an understanding with. Maybe it's due to the fact that they both share the same blood, both being the clan of the Rose. Maybe it's because they both have Russian ancestry, or maybe it's just simply because they're fellow degenerates on a similar winding path. Who knows? Either way, Natalia had a brief phone call with Yulia asking to meet up, and Yulia, for her part, was more than willing to oblige, and suggested that they head to this club, which they would probably find is actually located in the gay village of Montreal. It's a very, well, on the outside, it looks, relatively benign, at least compared to most of the other clubs in Montreal, especially in the gay village. But it seems to be it's lively enough for this time of year. And Natalia, for her part, she won't have any problem getting in, which we can interpret in more ways than one, I do realize. But yes, entering into the club, the first thing they'll find is it's it's on a scale of 1 to 10, it's positively fabulous. They have the very usual. They have a synthwave type theme going on with the music. Right now, it seems to be some sort of synthwave remix of the theme from Gremlins. Don't ask me why. I just made that up. And also, I found a band which does stuff like that.
Don't worry, I will just hold it against your name forever.
Ah, you flatter me so, but either way. Because we may as well get a dice roll out of the way, let's give it a perception alertness. And because you've seen her before, I'm going to say this is D5.
That's... Uh-oh. Oh, god damn it, not this again?
What?
For some reason I cannot roll, which is annoying. Well, I can roll, but you can't see it.
Okay. I'll trust you.
I have 2 successes.
Okay. Getting into the club and giving a very cursory observation, you realise that in addition to the rather interesting choice of music, which subtly you're probably thankful that I didn't say something like a dubstep version of a Village People track. You'll actually see Yulia in one of these cages dancing, dancing in a state which, well, let's just say the flesh to fabric ratio probably marks her as being one of the club's performers, if you will.
Ah.
Well, to see how good she's doing. Oh, she's actually pretty fucking epic. That is 8 successes on a performance roll. Yeah, she's doing. She's even given some of the fellas here a bit of pause for thought.
She is giving Natalia a bit of pause for thought. She will sit somewhat close, and she will enjoy the performance.
Yeah, she's got in addition to the gold, in addition to a kind of gold motif to the that she's wearing, she also has a great deal of, one of those feather type thingies. What do you call them? Like fans. She has like one of those in each one's, which each kind of like as she like twists twists and gestates, gyrates in the cage. She kind of like uses it, and in a veer type matter.
Hmm.
You can't actually see what I'm doing with my hands. I don't know why I'm doing this, but yeah.
It looks like she's done this before, right?
It looks like she does this professionally.
All right.
Like she
Okay.
actually knows what she's doing. Like she's a performance artist, or well, we say performance artist.
That can encompass quite a few things. But
Yes, it's a very broad spectrum. I'll leave
this
that to you.
would fall into the category of dancer, but
Yeah.
oh well. Yeah, Natalia is not going to stop her. She's going to sit there and watch until this dancing, until she stops. Well, unless, of course, it's more than an hour, then.
Yes. It does tend to trig on a little bit. Could you give me the expected roll for someone with your particular flaw? I believe it's willpower. Or is it self-control? I forget.
Oh, that's right.
I'll go check if you need me.
I think it's self-control.
I'm just getting the V20 book up right now.
I actually almost 100% certain that it's self-control.
Okay. Load up. All right. And it was a 1-point floor as well. So, oh yes, there we go. Yeah, self-control.
I will say she fails because she has a 4, a 2, and a 5. So even though that this is something that Natalia appreciates one way or the other, she will at some point just maybe it's the locale, maybe it's just her. She's got stuff to do, so she will just get up and she will just the cage. Is it so that you can approach it or like knock on it or something?
No, it's one of those suspended cages, if you know what I mean. I kind of remember something like this in a club that I was in a couple of years ago. Kind of like you have. It was on like one of these like kind of like raised platform type things.
Oh, okay. Natalia would just look around for a bartender or someone who works here and just go over to them and just, hello? Or she will shout, but I will not do that. So
Yes, of course. And the bartender, comes up to you and is like, well, he's going in along with the theme of this club, to put it politely.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's got his own little angel wings on. And he's like, okay, what can I get you?
Yeah, I need to speak to Julia, and she will just point up to the cage.
Yulia? Okay. I'm afraid she's kind of busy at the moment.
Yes. We were supposed to meet here. Do you know when does she? Is there a pause in the performance, or?
I think there'll be one in maybe 20 minutes or so.
All right, fair enough. Natalia will just walk away, and she'll begin to just look around, see if there's any other canites present. If she's not gonna go investigating that far, but is there someone who might just not be hiding it that much, if you know what to look for, that sort of thing?
If you knew what to look for, you could give me a maybe a perception K-Night law check.
Whoa, that is not a lot of dice. I have really annoyed that. Oh well. It's 2 6s and a 7. I'm guessing it's probably 1 success since it's a little more difficult.
Well, you know what to look for. You know, if you were just an ordinary mortal with vague ideas of the supernatural, you'd probably overlook a lot of those signs. But with those 3 successes, you don't really see anyone that really stands out to you as being, Cainite. Besides Julia, of course, and perhaps luck would have it. But out of the corner of your eye, you notice that Yulia kind of locks eyes with you, or it seems to be tracking your, as you're moving through the crowd. And you can see that she's like doing something on the cage, like doing some sort of knock or whatever.
Natalia will smile and come closer.
And the cage, starts to lower on the platform and allows Yulia the chance to disembark. And you see her. You're guessing she must be going backstage. And it doesn't take all that long for you to feel your phone vibrating in your pocket.
She will, answer it or maybe see a message.
Yeah, it's a message, it's a text message. Simply says, "Come backstage. I'll let you in."
And Natalia will do so.
Obviously, you'd have to get past the bouncer there, but Yulia has informed him ahead, so he just simply all you need to do is just say that your name's Natalia, and he lets you right back in. He points you to the direction for the dressing room, and sooner or later you find yourself in Yulia's private dressing room, as it were. She's got like a robe wrapped around her, which I don't have, so be like, yeah. Hello, Natalia. Is it okay if you speak Russian?
Sure, no problem. Nie ma problema.
Nie ma problem. Sespian. And Yulia switches over to Russian because my Russian is absolutely terrible, and I don't think yours is all that good.
Mine is very, very limited, to say the very best.
Yeah. And Yulia straight away, she looks a lot more relaxed at this point, that she doesn't have to use English. Okay, yeah. It's good to see you again. Was there anything happening with your ductus and the others? Are they okay?
Yeah, well, it seems as though there's a very good reason why that challenge was put to people. The building, it seems, is very dangerous to our kind, but as far as I know, Connor is all right. So is the other guys. But well, that's really what I wanted to discuss. I'm interested to hear it talk with you when there's not others around. Just relax. With someone of my own clan. It's quite limited what I've had to interact with of my own clan, and my and she looks down. My sire was, and she just kind of trails off. It's not too many I get to meet, so it's good to have another clan member to talk to. But I also, wanted to speak to you about some things, and maybe also to your mentor or boss.
Oh, okay. By the way, that dice roll there was just a perception empathy as to why she trailed off.
Yeah, it's clear that there's something that she either really doesn't want to speak about, or maybe it's hard for her to speak about it.
Yeah, Yulia kind of like softly nods. Okay. You can have a seat if you want to. Well, I also have my snake here. and you notice that she, she has like this little pet, this pet constrictor, like this boa, which is like presently like sat in one of these like little container. It's obviously been put there just to give it some place to relax, some place that's moist.
Hmm. Oh well, pets. Well, it's been some. Well, I've actually never had a pet. Maybe it's time.
So, I I like snakes. Don't know why they've. Most of the girls when I was growing up always hated them, but I always liked them.
Hmm. Yeah, it's weird. Most people seem to think that snakes are slimy. They're actually very, very dry when it comes to it.
Yeah,
You
they
know.
can be, especially when they are shedding skin.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh well. Uh, well, myself, I don't really. I I never mind them. They're quite fine for me.
Your sire was difficult with you.
I wouldn't know. I was I was impressed quite on the fly, and my sire did not live very long after that.
My,
So I
si- my
was.
sire was killed shortly after I was given the embrace too.
Mm, that really fucking blows, you know.
I sometimes wonder why he gave me the embrace.
Well, it's quite obvious for me anyway.
Maybe, but I think that it's wrong to embrace for those reasons. Or at least that is how I've come to understand. You know, reading bits of the Book of Nod has helped me understand some philosophy behind, you know, why we are what we are. There are some people who are less suited to unlife.
She kind of gives her a look. She just looks her up and down. It's just, well, there are some who are groomed for quite some time. And then there are some who are just needed for a quick thing, and 90% of those who are embraced that way die, maybe more. And then some of them are strong enough to make it.
Hmm.
Maybe you and I are some who are strong enough. If we want to, of course.
I
I,
want to.
I don't mean to be any. I mean, you don't seem like a typical member. There is. I mean, from what I've seen, you seem very. Well, it's not that you're. You seem a little hesitant, I would say, about certain things. Not that I'm not hesitant about some things, mind you, but
Notice that Yulia does kind of, she fidgets in her chair just a little bit uncomfortably when you mention that she's different.
well, I mean, I'm different from most people around here, so I mean, For instance, I mean, the whole praying thing, like that's all you do is just praise and go to church. She says church in quotation. You know, I mean, deeds speak louder than deeds and actions speak louder than just praying all the time. But, no, that's my take anyway. There's nothing
Plus,
wrong with being different, but sorry, go ahead.
the plus of the Sabbat is that the church comes to you.
I suppose that's true. But
It's not to mean that, there is not beautiful architecture. Like
true.
like the Black Cathedral.
Mm-hmm. Hey, don't get me wrong. I think you could pull one hell of a fucking concert in a church. I'm not saying something as blasphemous as the Black Cathedral, but in normal church, the acoustics can be very, very fucking good in there.
Yes, I think they're designed that way, maybe.
Quite so.
They
I
did
still
not
would
have
like to.
they did not have microphones in those days, so sound had to travel a lot. They had to be
Mm,
designed so that voices could be heard from far away.
yeah, but thinking if I find someone who can play instruments, putting up a show, let's see how if we can rock that place. That could be great. I would like that, but um, she looks at her again, just having taken the conversation as somewhat lighter, well, theme. She will look at her again and just say, "Why do you doubt why he embraced you? I mean, just because the Book of Nuts says that it's probably not the way you should do it, or is there something else? Was there something specific about your embrace that was different?"
Could you give me a perception empathy check?
Um, Perception, empathy. 4 dice. You want me to roll it, even though you can't see it?
I'll roll it for you if you want me.
Yeah,
To make
yeah.
it-
I think that's better. Just so
Okay.
there's no doubt.
Four dice, right?
Yeah.
No. You don't notice anything. Well, it's easier to say in Russian than it is in English. That's why I think is why I come across as, it seems as if, from what I can tell, the more established, the more respected Canaanites, they were chosen specifically and groomed and made into something like a statue, like the statue of Leonardo. They had a slab, but then they were chipped away at the pieces until they made something excellent. It was something magnificent. With me, I think my sire may have chosen me because he maybe saw something in me that reminded him of himself, or maybe because he was thinking with his balls rather than his brain.
Well,
I don't know.
that happens a lot. I would suppose that, well, originally I thought we didn't do that sort of thing, but apparently some of us still do. She kind of shrugs. But, well, hey, I'm not complaining. I mean, having someone like you not change and remain the way you are, I'm not complaining. She smiles.
Uh, I was not born looking like this, though some things have changed for the better. My hair was not silver; it was blonde.
Oh, your mentor?
Yes, they gave me a new face, a new life, almost.
Hmm. Well, it may not, you may not have been chosen originally, but it would seem that you are being made into something better, if you don't mind me saying.
Yes, I think so too.
I
There's
mean,
still
I
so
have,
much I'm trying
I have,
to. The Grandmaster is. They're very hands. What's the English expression? Hands off. You know, they don't encourage in like teachers do. Usual teachers. They simply say they want this happen, and they say use your initiative.
hmm, I can appreciate that, honestly.
You know, but
Do you
they
think
looks
there
the
is a way
people.
that I might be able to meet with him or her?
It is a she.
Yeah,
It's,
well,
it's very strange. I've said this many times, and yet people. Maybe is it maybe the name Grandmaster that insinuates?
well, I suppose, well, in English, I suppose you could call it the Grand Mistress. For the English speaking, I suppose that would make it, well, you could say master or mistress. Master is predominant, well, it's almost always a man, so I think that's a part of it.
Though they are Shemisi, perhaps they were born man but chose to use form of a woman. Maybe I don't know. But I don't. I don't know if I should be talking about the Grandmaster too much.
Well, I do want to meet her, if I can, of course, if she has time.
They are very selective. Maybe if you wish to talk to them yourself, I mean, I do can call over the phone, but you have to have. Maybe you should have something to give to them first, like a gift or something they are looking for.
Natalia thinks about that for a moment, looks at Julia and just says, I'll have to think of that. But tell me something. If you are, you and I were both normal members, have you given any thought to what's going to happen once we start moving to Quebec? I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm just stating some obvious things. If we are being sent to Quebec, you might be sent as well. I don't know. Do you have a pack or something? Maybe the Grandmaster will not come with you.
I was not told of what I'm supposed to do. And you notice that she does look a tiny bit worried. The Grand Master has just simply told me to stay with them whilst I am learning and assist them.
Do you think that if I'm able to or have progressed in things that I would be asked to go or permitted to go, or
Well, that's part of the reason I wanted to speak to you. You know, I'm quite sure that the Grandmaster is quite protective of you, but in some cases, well, when a crusade is called, certain I believe that certain things are overridden, and everyone who can assist will have to assist. So I don't know what would happen or not happen, but I'm merely thinking, if you were sent to this crusade, would you have to find a pack, or I mean, would you be sent alone? I don't know, and that's partly why I'm asking. I was a bit worried for you, you know, just if you were sent alone, I would offer, maybe just I could look out for you or something. We could, you know, stick together a bit more.
see. Maybe I should ask the Grandmaster this.
Well, it's, you know, I mean, there might be nothing there. Maybe you're staying here. I don't know. It's just quite, prudent information. If you're being sent to a crusade, it's good to know beforehand.
I'm not sure how. I'm getting better. The Grandmaster was teaching me how to use the Kalashnikov. She is very good with them. And I think I've never held one before. It's heavier than I think, but I think the celerity discipline helps focus.
It does. I've never really been a big fan of guns, to be honest. Well, I can handle one, but yeah, I'm more, I find it a lot more useful to seem a bit more weak and things, and then have people drop their guard, get them close, and then, you know, make sure that they understand how much they've just fucked up. But I guess that's a personal preference.
I think the Grandmaster would disagree with that. They are. They can be scary sometimes.
Who?
The Grandmaster.
Oh, that way. Okay. Yeah, I get. Yeah. Well,
Not just with their teaching.
hello.
You've probably seen Kalashnikov is very difficult to control, right?
Yes. Well, as far as I know, the AK-47 doesn't have single shot, right?
Oh yes, it does have single shot. And you see that Yulia is trying to imitate the form of the Kalashnikov. You know, you can see that the way that actually, does your character have firearms? No. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, she's actually got a decent. The way that she's holding it. She isn't doing like the stupid high chicken wing thing with a rifle. She has it all tucked to one side. You know, she's sort of holds it with
Mm.
kind of like that. You know, it's where
To
you can see
compensate for the recoil better.
Yes, it looks like she was. It looks like she's. It's a poor imitation, but it looks like she has the person this Grandmaster whoever's been teaching her probably was professionally trained.
Mm.
And you see, yes, that is the setting when it is up at the highest setting. It is on the safety setting.
when it's pushed all the way down, it goes into the single shot. Whilst if it is in the middle, it goes into fully automatic. The Grandmaster tells me this was done because Mikhail Kalashnikov believed that in the heat of battle, a soldier would push all the way down and not have the control to be able to fix it onto a single shot. So by going all the way down, it fixes it onto single shot instead of automatic, which would make it very difficult to control.
And you would run out of bullets in a second or two. Well, a bit longer, but well, it makes sense.
Yes, that's what the Grandmaster says.
It's like an interesting person. No, I really want to speak to them.
Well, like I said, they don't just meet anyone.
What kind of gift would they like, do you think?
Usually things from the old country. Sometimes strange things. Things of the occult. I think they may like things of magic nature as well, but I don't know of how to find any of the things of the old country of magic. Excuse me. Old country things can be very easy to find, but
Hmm.
there
Alright.
was a conversation that I was overhearing between another Shimisi, a shaper, Father Samuel. Is
Oh,
he your friend? Your
he's my pack priest.
They were talking about the philosophy of this path of power and the inner voice. I don't recall the particulars, but I think the Grandmaster may have convinced Father Samuel that her path is the best path.
That's interesting.
Yes, they were using a story about how Jesus was the best conqueror because they were able to do so without an army. That they were able to be more learned without a school.
And in that line of thinking, every time they were persecuted, they simply smiled and accepted the persecution, becoming stronger in the process.
Yes.
That makes sense. Well, in a way, from what I know, Christianity, but Jesus was just one of, I don't know, a couple of hundred messiahs who were, well, just the one that tend to become popular. So, and like it, just Julia will just notice that Natalia doesn't come across as a scholar like in any way, and this is somewhat like she actually, I'm not going to say the whole thing, but she actually goes in a tirade about something that's fairly analytical and is unlike her. And Natalia will at some point just almost snap out of it. Yeah, well, it's it's there's many things in it. It's not. It's yeah, it's a long story, boring. Um, she will just kind of try to change the subject very inartfully, but she will just. So you're not looking for a pack at this moment, right? It's something that's up to the Grandmaster.
I think so. I will ask them.
Just give it some thought.
I will.
Natalia just looks at her and just says, um, would something like a canvas be a acceptable gift?
What? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
A canvas.
Canvas.
As in, it's not specified, but normally it's for painters.
Oh, a canvas.
Yes, I know. That was why yeah, not really.
Sorry. Maybe? What would the canvas be of? Do you think?
Well, she she looks a bit nervous and just says, well, me, to be honest.
Um,
I don't know. Maybe they're up for a challenge. I think I'm quite good looking myself, but yeah, stupid idea. Never mind. She kind of.
maybe if it was, you see that Yulia's kind of like leaning back and having a bit of a think. Maybe if it was of a great leader, maybe from the old country.
Hmm. I'll give it some thought.
And then Yulia like clicks her fingers. I think I might know something to help narrow down. When I speak with the Grandmaster, she is always speaking Russian. But she is not Russian. Let her know. The accent is different. I think she may be from Central Europe. Like Poland, Czechoslovakia, places like that. Maybe a great leader, maybe a great image of some force, some people, some person from there.
Well, I got a few ideas then. Still, it's depends on what country. But anyways, thank you. I will begin to do some. I'm gonna have to find. Anyways, thank you, Julie. Yeah, I should. I think I should be able to do something with that. She looks at the snake in the like a glass or a bottle or something.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, if I were a suspicious person, you do know what keeping a pet snake would make me say, right?
No?
Well, just you know, do you know of the followers of Seth think?
Yes, I think I know of them. Are they not snake worshippers? Snake?
Quite so.
They're antediluvian snake or something like that. I think I remember hearing.
Well, I don't know if he's a snake or if he's just his animal snakes or something like that. They're big into that, but yeah, I'm just you know, some might be stupid enough to make some certain assumptions, but oh well. Yeah, never mind. It's just me that's. I guess I'm a bit paranoid, but never mind.
Why? Are they coming?
Well, they're kind of no. Well, actually, I met someone who was not like them, but seemingly like them. But no, I don't think they're coming. It's a giant. They're just kind of a big enemy to us, as far as I know.
Do they not have followers of Set in the Sabbat?
I
They
met a
have
guy.
many.
He was quite angry or offended that I called him that. He called himself a serpent of the light, which is apparently a big difference. A
Oh,
serpent of the light. He said that followers of Set was the like the opposite of him or something to that effect.
oh, I see. Like the Setite anti-turbo?
Yeah, I think so. I think something like that. Yes.
I understand.
Are you here all night, or do you have time for to go out or something?
Yes, I will be here for a little while longer.
Okay. Have
I'm,
you
I'm,
eaten?
I'm happy that you came to see me dance. I did see.
Well, I enjoyed it. It was good. You're very, very good at it.
I was before the embrace, and still am now.
Well, whatever reason, I'm glad your sire did what he did.
We would not have met otherwise, I do not think.
Exactly. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work, Julia. I will see you soon. All right.
Okay.
And Natalia will just say her goodbyes and leave the area or leave the club.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
with that, this scene will come to a close,
Okay.
I believe.
We can if you want to.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, the scene has come to a close with Natalia being given a little possible in with the Grandmaster under certain circumstances. So, on behalf of Montreal by Night, we thank you players for playing, we thank you watchers for watching, and we hope to see you all again very, very soon. Au revoir, Madame et Monsieur. Praise Cain.